Hi everyone, my name is Mingfei and I work in Azure Media Services as a PM. In this short video, I'm going to show you how you could configure PlayReady license delivery to the cloud easily and apply dynamic encryption on your stream. Azure Media Services provides PlayReady license delivery, and we offer 4 nines SLA guarantee on our license delivery service. Using dynamic encryption is one of the very common media workflow with PlayReady encryption, and here is how it works. First of all, you upload a media content into our cloud, and we could store it securely in our blob storage. We request you to encode the video into multi-bit rate MP4 and configure the following. So firstly, you need to configure a content key on the asset to tell us which key you want us to apply the encryption upon. And you will need to configure authorization policy, which to tell us how do you want us to authorize the content key to your player. We support token restriction, IP restriction, or open policy. Meanwhile, PlayReady license template could be set here as well. After setting content key, you also need to set asset delivery policy, which essentially tells us what streaming protocol you want to apply PlayReady encryption upon. After configure all this, our origin streaming endpoint will deliver encrypted bits on the fly to your player through HTTP. Because the streaming protocol is HTTP, so you could use any CDN to deliver the stream on the edge. After your player receives the encrypted stream, it would need the license to decrypt the stream. Usually, one of the workflow would be your player log into your authentication system, and after they provide the valid username and password, for instance, your auth system will issue the valid token to your media player. And the player would request license with token to the PlayReady license server that hosted in Azure. And our service will validate the token and return license if the token is valid, and the whole license exchange happens over HTTPS. And after the PlayReady, your media player received the license, you could further decrypt the content and get the content playback. Now let's take a look how to do it through Azure Media Services portal. First of all, you could navigate to Content Protection tab, and there is a section called Default PlayReady License Service Policy Configuration. As I mentioned, you could choose either open authentication or token authentication for license delivery. And also here is where you could configure license template. You could choose PlayReady template to be non-persistent or persistent, for instance, and also whether to allow test devices. We have very simple configuration here. However, you could configure a very comprehensive PlayReady license template through our APIs. Here is a MSDN page you could check out for all these different rights configuration. After the configuration, we could navigate back to Content tab. I already have a content uploaded here. The first thing you should do is to process the media content with Azure Media Encoder. We have lots of encoding presets here. And under the first category, preset for adaptive streaming is what you want to encode the video with. So let's choose H264 720p and give it a name and click on OK. So now the encoding job just kick starts. Instead of waiting, I will use one of the assets I just configured. I just encoded before the demo. And you could click on encryption button on the bottom tab. And there is a function called enable PlayReady encryption. So let's just click on that. And now what happened behind the scene is that our portal is generating a content key and also apply the content key authorization policy as you configured in the content protection tab, as well as configure asset delivery policy to PlayReady onto all streaming protocol. And now you can see at the encryption column, this asset is configured to be dynamic encryption with PlayReady. And we could simply hit publish button on the bottom tab. Within seconds, this asset is available for streaming and it is PlayReady encrypted. So we could also use play button here to see how the video looks like. Here, Portal is providing a Silverlight player to stream PlayReady encrypted smooth streaming content. And the video is getting played back. Even better, we also support PlayReady encrypted content with HLS and MPEG-. So let's see how could we play this content in a HTML5 player. Firstly, I'm going to copy the publish URL. This is a smooth streaming content. However, you could make it a MPEG- content by simply append format equal to MPD time CSF onto the streaming URL. And now copy paste this URL into a dash player. So this is a sample player that we hosted using -js source code, and you could do it yourself as well. So we just saw the video gets playback in a HTML5 browser. Similarly, you could dynamically package the content into HLS that gets played on iOS devices if you have a PlayReady client SDK on iOS. Lastly, I want to show you how you could configure token authentication on PlayReady Stream. Simply click on Token tab, and firstly, you need to input issuer, which is a URL pointing to your token issuer service, and also the scope of your token service. And lastly, PlayReady verification key. So that's a we support Simple Web Token and JSON Web Token. So this verification key is the secret key, allows your token issuer service to sign the token. And after that's done, you can add a customized claim here as well, and click on Save. It could take a few seconds for the configuration to apply. And now if I would play back this content, I could only get a license if I supply the right token. So now if I hit on play, you will see that the portal is asking your permission to act as a token issuer service to issue the player a sample token. So now we click on issue token. Then the communication is established. The player is requesting license by providing a valid token. And after our license service receives the token, it will issue the license. That's why the content gets played in a Silverlight player. So that's all I want to show for using Portal to configure PlayReady license service and apply dynamic encryption on your stream. One thing to notice that in order to utilize dynamic encryption feature, you will need to have at least one reserve unit on your streaming endpoint. And you can see here, my streaming unit is 1. You can easily scale it by put the slider into at least 1. And as simple as that, now you could deliver PlayReady encrypted content in the cloud. Thank you for watching.